There are a ton of huge and gorgeous open world games arriving this year, and for me, I am incredibly excited to see what these games have to offer. This seems to be another incredible year for video game releases, with some pretty big titles coming on the horizon. So today, I'm going to be covering 15 brand new open world games coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass in 2024. My name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation. Subscribe down below for more Xbox content every single week, and in no particular order, let's dive straight into the games. One game that I've kept my eye on for some while is Crimson Desert. The open world RPG looks comically packed full of content and even comes complete with the mandatory fishing game. Crimson Desert, which is developed by Black Desert studio Pearl Abyss, appears to have a feature set that's full to the point of absurdity. The player takes the role of a mercenary exploring a fantasy world on horseback. Your protagonist will engage in a long list of open world activities, from battling, fishing and hunting bounties, to hijacking carriages, sieging castles, arm wrestling and sheep rescuing. Combat also looks like it's had a good deal of variety, as not only does the mercenary use a bow, an arrow and a sword, but he is also able to get the advantage in fights by knocking over towers and trapping foes under the wreckage. It looks like a fantastic world to explore, and visually it's looking spectacular. If you're a big Star Wars fan like me, then you must be eagerly waiting for Star Wars Outlaws, and this is the first ever open world game in this juggernaut franchise. Yes, you will be playing a scoundrel who is trying to get a new life for themselves and will have to endure the worst parts of the galaxy to get to it. With numerous planets to visit, jobs to do and space battles to be had, this outlaw will have their work cut out for themselves. According to Ubisoft, the game is spread across multiple handcrafted planets of manageable sizes, and whilst the final amount of planets is still unknown, we've had word that it could be equivalent to 2 to 3 zones seen in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There is now a release date of August, and it's coming to the Xbox Series X and S. Those of you who know the situation, or in this case situations, going on with BioWare, know that it's anyone's guess whether Dragon Age Dreadwolf will be any good. This is one of their classic franchises, and they're known to make good entries in this series, but gamers have certainly been burned before. We know that this game will focus on the tale of a Solas, aka the Dreadwolf, who once separated realms to keep the peace. Now he's looking to destroy the realms, and it's up to you to stop him from doing that. A classic RPG experience awaits you, and you'll get to be the character that you want to be. You will definitely have fun so long as the game actually comes out sometime this 2024 for the Xbox Series X and S. The Stalker franchise is actually a bit larger than you might realise, and the only reason we haven't gotten Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl already is due to real world events. As a result, the hype of this game will continue to build as time ticks forward to its release, and it's aiming to be one of the most expensive versions of the franchise yet. It also includes a remodeling of the exclusion zone that we've seen in the last few games. You'll play as a stalker who is once again trying to make their living and trying to survive the other stalkers as well as mutant monsters. This franchise has an incredibly dedicated community, and everything that we have seen so far from Stalker 2 just looks amazing. This is high on most gamers' lists, and it comes to the Xbox Series consoles and to Game Pass as a day one release this year. Remakes are all the rage nowadays in gaming, and that means that you will get the chance to partake in an adventure from 20 years ago in a whole new light. The Gothic One remake will take you to a realm where a magical mishap has led a group of prisoners seizing control of the kingdom's valuable mine. Things are tense, but you are someone who can change the fate of the entire realm. The game hasn't just improved graphically, but it also takes the battle system from the original game and improves it immensely, all whilst maintaining everything that the original title did incredibly right. If you're wanting to try this legendary franchise for the very first time, then it comes to the Xbox Series consoles sometime in 2024. The original game in this franchise, Ark Survival Evolved, brought a lot of things to the table and amazed fans with how everything was handled. We recently had Ark Survival Ascended arrive onto Game Pass, and I think it's safe to say it's where everyone's appetite for the next entry. Ark 2 is aiming to expand that in a major way, including by making the world even even bigger than it was before. In the game, you'll play as someone with no true memory of who they are and waking up to a world that is full of contradictions in terms of who and what is there. Now you must do what you have to explore and harness the world and team up with some of its heroes to keep people safe. And Vin Diesel is in this game, because ultimately, why not at this point? It's coming to the Xbox Series consoles and PC and is day one with Game Pass sometime this 2024. When it comes to epic RPGs, there are a few companies out there that you can rely on in order to get the best experiences possible, and one of them is Obsidian Entertainment. Why is that? Well, it's because they're the team behind grand RPGs like Fallout New Vegas, The Outer Worlds, and more. So when they announced a new RPG in the form of Avowed, yes, people were certainly excited. The game will be set in a fantasy world that has all sorts of monsters that are apparently born from the sins of an empire. You'll be able to use swords, guns, and sorcery to try and fix things, and you can bet there'll be lots of quests and side quests to partake in. It comes to the Xbox Series consoles and PC, and also Game Pass day one in the later part of this year. If you're looking for a more futuristic twist on the open world gameplay we all know, then Project Mogan will be right for you. The game's world might look like our own Earth, but it's actually one where the supernatural and technology are balanced within the massive cities that you reside in. You play as an Esper who is tasked with seeking out anomalies that threaten the cities and their people. Along the way, you'll work with other Espers, see the city in all its forms, and learn about the memories you lost along the way. It is certainly not often that we see some cool twists both graphically and gameplay wise to the traditional open worlds we know and love, so this one is certainly one to keep your eye on if you want to try something very different. One game that I was surprised to see, but I am glad we are getting, is Greedfall 2: The Dying World. Taking place 3 years before the events of the first game, and players will assume the role of a native who is uprooted from their island. From developer discussions, this new chapter will include bigger and more diverse environments, new companions and factions, and an even more in-depth adventure than its predecessor. The original Greedfall reminded me so much of the mid-2000 BioWare games, so I cannot wait to see what Nacon delivers with Greedfall 2 as it arrives sometime in Q3 2024. Now, I don't know much about this next title, but upon doing some research, it certainly shot to the top of my list for the most anticipated games for this year. Where Winds Meet is another game set in the Dynasty Warriors universe, but in a period slightly after when the mainline games are set. The developer has touted that this game is like Ghost of Tsushima in medieval China, and if that's the case, then I'm all for it. The game includes several gameplay elements, including horseback riding, combat skills, exploration hunting, and so much more. The massive open world is being designed to encompass numerous locations, including the windy steeps, bamboo forests, and bustling cities. This looks incredible, so stay tuned to the channel for more details very soon. Our next title is one that piqued many players' curiosity when it was shown back in 2021, and that is the Korean-made and inspired Dok V. This is a brand new open world action adventure with monster collecting made by Pearl Abyss. Yes, it's that Pearl Abyss who made Black Desert Online. It is certainly a big departure from their last game, but the visuals look outstanding even though they're a bit quirky. With everything from monster catching, bike riding, and kite flying, this game looks to bring a unique take and style to the open world formula. In this game, you will go on an adventure with the interesting creatures known as the Dokubi, who actually get their strengths from people's dreams. You'll need to put the best team together in order to go on the grandest of adventures, and outside of this, not much is known. However, it is slated to a 2024 release for PC and consoles. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 has been a long time coming. The original launched in 2018, and for the last 6 years, rumours of a follow-up have abounded. Now we have had confirmation and a trailer that Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is not only real, but is set to release later this year. The game will be twice as big as its predecessor, with 2 new maps to explore, Bohemian Paradise and Kuttenberg. The sequel is also set to place a larger emphasis on cinematic storytelling, with more than 5 hours of cutscenes. Additional improvements include a reworked combat system that aims to offer a realistic depiction of medieval swordplay whilst being a little more polished than the first game's clunky brawls. It also includes new weapons and a crossbow and an early gunpowder weapon, so it's definitely a step up. Racing games have been embracing more open world concepts for quite some time now, and Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is going to be one to look out for in 2024. The game intends to bank on the modern advances in technology to grant you the best experiences possible. You'll get to play the game your way in terms of how you look, the cars you drive, and how you drive them. You can focus on championships that are out there, or you can just go for a drive around Hong Kong Island in order just to hang loose. You can even bring your friends in and race with them with a bunch of cars and places to drive, and you'll definitely like this title when it comes out sometime this year. Pioneer is an exciting new MMO that looks like fellow fan favorite FPS games Escape from Tarkov and Stalker. GFA Games' new shooter is making waves amid fans of post-apocalyptic stories, fast-paced shooting experiences, and survival stands alike. With plenty of monstrosities to take on and an alternative Soviet-era setting, Pioneer is shaping up to be one of the following year's biggest releases, despite some fans' concerns. If you don't know about Pioneer yet, it is an MMORPG as an online shooter with a strong focus on exploration and, of course, survival. The game will contain elements of both PvE and PvP play, as well as some RPG features with faction and story missions you'll need to complete. All of these are located on a highly radiated, isolated Soviet-era island that was previously home to bunkers and scientific laboratories. Now, I know there are many fans out there of the Division franchise, and this year we are expected to see a brand new game in the series called The Division Heartlands. This is a brand new free-to-play spin-off from the mainline Division titles, but aims to be much grander in scale, with the game taking place across the American Midwest. We are still light on details on this game, but it's being touted as an MMO battle royale. And to be honest, with Ubisoft on the train trying to cash in on this genre, I really wouldn't be surprised. The game is slated for a 2024 release, and hopefully we will see more when Ubisoft holds their Direct in summer this year. What open world game are you looking forward to on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video so the YouTube algorithm can find more Xbox gamers, and subscribe for more Xbox content every single week. Whilst here, check out 20 amazing open world games that are available right now on Xbox Game Pass in 2024.